In the spring of 1807, following his decisive victories at Jena and Arstead over the Prussian army, Napoleon Bonaparte was at the height of his power. France had become the dominant force on the European continent, and Napoleon, Emperor of the French, was not only feared by his enemies, but revered by his allies. While most historical accounts of this period focus on battles, treaties, and political maneuvers, one lesser-known event offers a rare glimpse into a lighter, albeit bizarre, moment in his life: the so-called rabbit hunt incident. According to multiple historical sources, including contemporary accounts and later biographies, Napoleon organized a rabbit hunt as a form of recreation for himself and his generals following their recent military successes. Such outings were not uncommon among the European elite of the era, particularly as symbols of leisure, power, and control over nature. The hunt was arranged by his chief of staff or one of his marshals, possibly Alexander Berthier, according to some sources. The event was planned meticulously. A location was selected, possibly on a large estate or a countryside near Paris. The idea was to release a large number of rabbits into a controlled area, allowing Napoleon and his guests to hunt them in an orderly and celebratory fashion. Estimates of how many rabbits were gathered for the hunt vary, but some accounts claim that several hundred to as many as 3,000 were prepared for release. However, something went wrong with the execution. Instead of sourcing wild hares or wild rabbits, the event organizers procured domesticated rabbits, animals raised in captivity for food, not survival. Domesticated rabbits lack the instinct to flee from humans the way wild ones do. When released from their cages, these rabbits did not scatter into the brush as expected. Instead, they reportedly ran toward the nearest humans, who happened to be Napoleon and his party. Eyewitnesses claimed that dozens, then hundreds of rabbits began hopping directly at the emperor and his officers. Rather than a traditional hunt, it quickly became a scene of confusion and embarrassment. Soldiers and aides attempted to drive the animals away, but the sheer number overwhelmed them. Some reports even described Napoleon trying to retreat to his carriage, with rabbits still in pursuit. The reason for this odd behavior was likely simple conditioning. Domesticated rabbits, used to being fed by humans, may have associated the group with food. The released rabbits, suddenly exposed to open space and surrounded by people, responded by rushing toward what they perceived as a source of comfort or feeding time, rather than fleeing like wild game. Although the exact details of the event are debated among historians, and some embellishment is likely, the story has persisted for over 2 centuries. It's referenced in various biographical works and anecdotal histories, including those by 19th century French writers and military historians. While it is not found in Napoleon's official military records, it has become part of the folklore surrounding his life. There are no reports of injury or long-term consequences from the event. The incident was not widely publicized at the time, likely to avoid embarrassment, but it gained traction in the years following Napoleon's downfall. For those seeking to mock the emperor, especially in Britain and among his political enemies, the story offered easy material for satire. Although often presented humorously today, the rabbit hunt incident reveals interesting aspects of Napoleon's personality and image. As someone known for absolute control on the battlefield and in political affairs, being caught off guard by an unexpected situation, especially one so trivial, shows the limits of power and planning. It also underscores the unpredictability of even the most carefully organized events, a recurring theme in both military and political history. In the broader context of Napoleon's reign, the rabbit hunt was inconsequential. But its continued retelling reminds us that historical figures, no matter how grand or imposing, were human, and occasionally the subjects of mishaps and absurdity. Unlike the epic battles that define Napoleon's legacy, this moment remains memorable precisely because it subverts expectations. Instead of defeating an army, Napoleon was, for a brief moment, outmaneuvered by a swarm of confused rabbits.